painting your nails feels totally harmless. But Duke University tested 26 women after one manicure and found a hormone-disrupting chemical inside every single one of them within 10 hours. Even worse, nearly half of every drugstore polish on shelves still hides ingredients tied to cancer, miscarriages, and burns. And the brands you trust most are usually the worst offenders. So let's start at number 5, OPI Nail Lacquer. The bottle sitting on basically every salon counter in America since 1981. OPI seems like the safe choice because it's literally everywhere. The brand sells in over 100 countries, and you'll spot that little bottle in salons from Beverly Hills to small-town Iowa. But flip an OPI nail lacquer over and read the NC ingredient list, and you'll still find tosilamide formaldehyde resin sitting right in the middle of the formula. That's a film that slowly releases small amounts of formaldehyde, and the International Agency for Research on Cancer officially classifies formaldehyde as a known human carcinogen. To OPI's credit, they did drop dobutyl phthalate from the formula back in 2006, right after the European Union banned DEEP in cosmetics entirely. However, the classic nail lacquer line still contains formaldehyde resin and camphor in most shades you'd grab off the shelf. Dr. Mariana Hafner co-authored a 2024 review in Embros Dermatol that confirmed tosilamide formaldehyde resin tested positive in 14 to 29% of patch-tested cosmetic allergy patients, often showing up as rashes around the eyelids and chin. You're paying around $11 for a formula that hasn't fully modernized, but what's hiding inside the next brand at number 4 is honestly worse. Now we move down to number 4, Essie, the little gold cap bottle every bride trusts on her wedding day. Essie is one of the most recognized polish brands in America, owned by L'Oreal, and you'll see those iconic gold caps lined up on every drugstore shelf from CVS to Target. The brand officially markets itself as 8-free, which sounds amazing on paper, but the Environmental Working Group's Skin Deep database currently lists 15 Essie products that still contain tosilamide formaldehyde resin, depending on which exact shade you happen to grab off the shelf. That ingredient gives polish its shine, but dermatologists call it one of the most common contact allergens in nail cosmetics. Dr. Mariana Hafner's 2024 dermatology review confirmed sensitization rates between 14 and 29% in patch tests, and the rashes show up in surprising places. Think eyelids and chin, because women rub their face all day long without thinking about what's actually on their fingertips. Essie also still uses camphor in many shades, and Canada restricts camphor to a 3% concentration because of toxicity concerns to the central nervous system. At around $9 a bottle, you're paying premium drugstore prices for a formula that's barely modernized since the 1980s. Yet the brand sitting at number 3 is even more deceptive than these two combined. Coming in at number 3 is Sally Hansen Diamond Strength, and this one really stings if you've used it for years. Sally Hansen has been around since 1957 and sells more nail products than almost any other drugstore brand in America. Their newer Good Kind Pure line claims a 16-free formula, which honestly sounds incredible, but the popular Sally Hansen Diamond Strength formula still contains triphenyl phosphate, also called TCHP, according to independent ingredient testing. That's the exact chemical Duke researcher, Dr. Heather Stapleton, found inside every single one of the 26 women in her landmark 2015 study. Their urine levels of DPHP, the metabolite the body makes from TPHP, jumped nearly 7 times within just 10 to 14 hours of one manicure. Senior UG scientist Dr. Johanna Congleton called it deeply troubling that this chemical, which is also used as a flame retardant in foam furniture, ends up inside teenage girls and adult women through ordinary cosmetics. TPHP is a suspected endocrine disruptor, and animal studies link it directly to reproductive harm, developmental problems, and weight gain. UG's database lists about 1,500 nail products with TPHP, and 2 of the 8 polishes tested in Stapleton's lab didn't even bother to list it on the label. However, the brand at number 2 is the one most women actually trust for long wear. Now we're almost at the top. with number 2, Revlon Color Stay, the long wear line marketed as your 11-day chip-free fix. Revlon has been around since 1932 and sits comfortably as one of the top cosmetic brands in America. The Color Stay Gel Envy collection in particular promises long wear performance that mimics a salon gel manicure without the UV lamp. But Revlon was named directly in the original Duke and IG biomonitoring report from 2015 as one of the brands containing TCHP throughout their formulas. A separate Nailicy industry analysis published in late 2025 also confirmed that traditional Revlon nail polishes have historically contained toluene. The brand did introduce some 5 free options. However, those aren't universally available across the entire Color Stay range. So you might grab one cleaner shade and one toxic shade right next to each other on the same shelf without knowing the difference. Toluene is a solvent that the EPA links to nervous system damage, kidney issues, and developmental harm during pregnancy. California even lists toluene on its Proposition 65 Reproductive and Developmental Toxicity Registry. Roughly 102 million American women buy nail polish every year, and most never check the back label twice before bringing it home. And the worst is still right ahead at number 1. And we land at the absolute worst on this list. Number 1, Wet n Wild. The polish costing less than your morning coffee. Wet n Wild is famously cheap, with bottles often priced under $2, which is exactly why people grab handfuls of them without thinking. The brand sells at every Walmart, every CVS, and every Walgreens across America. But Wet n Wild appeared on the original Duke and IG published list of nail polish brands containing triphenyl phosphate, and a 2025 Nailicy investigation confirmed that the classic Wet n Wild formulas still include toluene in many shades. So you're paying for cheap pigment carried in cheap solvents. Toluene is a known central nervous system depressant that causes headaches, dizziness, and respiratory irritation. The California Environmental Protection Agency tested 7 products claiming to be toluene-free and found they still contain toluene at concentrations up to 180,000 parts per million. The EPA itself reported that 83% of products labeled toluene-free actually still contained measurable toluene inside. A 2019 Colorado nail salon study found 70% of surveyed nail technicians experienced at least one health issue tied directly to chemical exposure on the job. Combined with regular use of TCHP and tosilamide formaldehyde resin, this is the polish truly stealing from you on 2 fronts. Quick break before we get into the actually safe options. If this is helping you avoid the toxic stuff hiding in your bathroom drawer, hit subscribe and smash like so you don't get caught next time. The 5 brands ahead aren't the obvious viral ones everyone's talking about. And the brand sitting at number 1 was actually born from a real pregnancy panic that genuinely changed nail polish forever. Let's keep going. All right, let's start the safe list at number 5, Ella plus Mila. The brand quietly winning over pregnant women everywhere. Ella plus Mila is a women-owned company that markets itself as 17-free, meaning the formula skips not just the toxic trio, but also TCHP, formaldehyde resin, camphor, xylene, ethyl tosilamide, parabens, gluten, animal-derived ingredients, and a long list of concerns most brands quietly hide. They're PETA-certified cruelty-free and 100% vegan, which the brand verifies right on every bottle. What really stands out is that Ella plus Mila has been independently flagged by the Environmental Working Group as one of the safer choices for women trying to conceive, pregnant, or breastfeeding. The formula doesn't contain endocrine-disrupting plasticizers like DBP or TCHP, which is the exact chemical Duke's Dr. Heather Stapleton flagged as showing up inside every single woman in her 2015 biomonitoring study. Independent reviewers note the polish runs slightly thin, so you might need a 3rd coat for full opacity. However, you're genuinely trading minor application fuss for a real safety upgrade on what you're putting on your body. Pricing sits around $11 a bottle, which is comparable to Opie or Essie. But the next brand at number 4 was started by 3 New York friends who got fed up with toxic salons. Then we move up to number 4, Tenovertin, the brand born from 3 New York women sick of breathing salon fumes. Tenovertin was founded in 2010 by Nadine Abramczyk, Adair Iliansky, and Jacqueline Ferber. The 3 women repeatedly complained to each other during their own Manhattan nail appointments. Zero customer service, no concern for hygiene, fluorescent lighting, and chemical smells that lingered in their hair for hours after they walked out. So they opened their own non-toxic salon in Tribeca, then expanded into a polish line in 2011. Their formula is officially 8-free, meaning no formaldehyde resin, no toluene, no camphor, no ethyltosilamide, no xylene, and no TFHP. The polish you can buy online is the exact product their professional manicurists use on real clients every single day inside their nice and LA salons. Today, Vogue, Today Shop, and Grace and Lightness magazine have all flagged Tenovertin as one of the top clean beauty polish picks for 2025 and 2026. Each bottle runs around $18, which puts it firmly in mid-premium territory. However, the brand sliding into number 3 turned a $40 salon manicure into a $9 bottle anyone can use at home. Sliding into number 3 is Olive & June, and the story behind this brand is honestly kind of amazing. Olive & June was founded in 2013 by Sarah Gibson Tuttle, a former equity sales trader who spent 10 years at J.P. Morgan and Morgan Stanley before walking away from Wall Street entirely. She moved to Los Angeles, opened her first nail salon in Beverly Hills, and named the brand after her great-grandmother and grandmother. Then, she spent a full year teaching herself how to paint her own nails so she could design an at-home system that actually works for real women. The Olive & June polish is officially 7-free, meaning no toluene, no formaldehyde, no DBP, no formaldehyde resin, no camphor, no xylene, and no TFHP. The formula is vegan and certified cruelty-free, and that signature wide brush plus the chunky poppy cap makes painting your non-dominant hand way less stressful. The New, a beauty publication that consults a cosmetic chemist for its reviews, ranked Olive & June as their top non-toxic nail polish winner. During the 2020 pandemic, the brand's sales soared 1,500% as women ditched salons entirely. Each bottle runs about $9. But the next brand at number 2 was born from a moment 2 LA moms had at their daughter's birthday party. Coming in at number 2 is Coat. Born from a moment 2 LA moms had at their daughter's nail salon birthday party. Cité was founded by Mary Lennon and Leah Yari, and the origin story is genuinely real. Mary's 8-year-old daughter desperately wanted a nail salon birthday party. Leah was there too with her own daughter. As they stood in the corner of that salon watching the little girls breathe in chemical fumes, the 2 moms looked at each other and said, "Why does this have to be such a gross experience for our kids?" That conversation turned into Cité. Their flagship salon opened in Brentwood, Los Angeles in April 2014, and the polish line is officially 10-free. Formaldehyde resin, toluene, DBP, camphor, ethyltosilamide, xylene, TFHP, parabens, and gluten are all banned from the formula. The brand is vegan, cruelty-free, and made in the USA. Switch Natural, a clean beauty platform with dermatology consultants, lists Cité specifically as a top pick for women in preconception, pregnancy, or postpartum recovery. They also make a soy-based non-acetone remover that's genuinely gentler on natural nails. Bottles run around $18. But the brand at number 1 was born from something even more personal. A real pregnancy panic that changed nail polish forever. And finally at number 1 is Zoya, and the founder's story behind this brand might be the most beautiful one on this entire list. Zoya Razis was a classically trained pianist in Ukraine before she and her chemist husband Michael immigrated to the United States and settled near Cleveland, Ohio. Zoya earned her cosmetology license in 1979 and began working as a nail technician at her own salon. But in 1984, she got pregnant. Suddenly, the harsh chemicals she'd been handling every day became terrifying. She was scared of birth defects, of reproductive harm, of everything she touched on the job reaching her unborn baby. So Zoya asked Michael, a genuinely brilliant chemist, to start formulating safer polishes inside their basement lab. 2 years later, in 1986, the couple opened a new salon and launched Zoya Nail Polish. Their brand became the very first nail polish company in the entire world to remove dibutyl phthalate from its formula, decades before any major drugstore brand caught up. Today, Zoya is officially tin-free, with no toluene, no camphor, no formaldehyde resin, no parabens, no TPHP, no xylene, no ethyl tosilamide, no DBP, and no lead. Independent industry research consistently calls Zoya the longest-wearing non-toxic polish in American salons. Over 400 shades at $11 a bottle, the same price as Opie or Essie, but a genuinely cleaner formula. And it all started with one pregnant woman who refused to compromise. So which of these polishes are sitting in your drawer right now? Drop the brand below, hit subscribe, and remember to always check the INSI list before you buy again.